I lost everything and didn't remember who I was. My world disappeared in a second. I thought it was the end, but one unexpected encounter gave me a chance. How to start life from scratch when you're nobody? Look how I got out of the deepest hole. Alex was having a hard time coming to his senses. The darkness that had enveloped his mind began to recede. He opened his eyes cautiously. My head ached terribly, and for some reason my shoulder hurt. It was dark all around. The air was filled with the scent of forest herbs, peppermint, and something long forgotten from childhood. The walls were made of old timber, and bunches of dried flowers or some herbal preparations hung on them. He tried to get up, but the attempt failed. His head felt like lead, and he didn't have the strength to lift it. "Are you awake?" came a quiet, elderly, rustling voice. An old woman appeared in front of him, very thin and petite, as if she had stepped out of the pages of a folklore book. "Here, have a drink. You need to get some more sleep so that the injury heals faster." She raised the mug to his lips. The pleasant aroma of the herbal collection immediately hit my nose. Alex took a few sips, and warmth spread through his body almost instantly. "Where am I?" "Get some sleep," she replied. "It's still early. Sleep and gain strength." Alex closed his eyes. He had time to think that for some reason, before going to bed, he didn't even have anything to think about, and immediately there was a viscous darkness. The next time he woke up, there was sunlight in his eyes. "How are you feeling?" The old lady was nearby, fussing at the table without looking at him. "I don't know." She still didn't turn to look at him. "What's your name?" "Alex." "Alex. It's good. Where are you from?" "From." And then he panicked. He knew for sure that his name was Alex. He's 35 years old, and that's it. He couldn't remember anything, absolutely nothing. "I don't understand. I don't know." Grandma sighed. "Well, that's what I thought. Jessica said the injury was very severe." "Which Jessica?" "Well, she and I found you in a thicket. Someone left you with a punctured head and a wound in your shoulder. Apparently, they thought you wouldn't survive, and you wouldn't have survived if it hadn't been for Jess and her herbs." Alex groaned. "I don't remember anything, and I don't understand anything." "Don't worry, wait. Everything will heal. You'll remember." Alex took a closer look at the old woman. She was acting strangely. She was talking, but she never looked at him. She was doing something on the table all the time, but somehow uncertainly, as if checking every object by touch. "What are you looking at? Don't you understand?" "Yes, I don't see it. I've been living by touch for 60 years now. I'm used to it. It's like I can see everything in the house. It's more difficult outside, especially behind the hedge." "Excuse me, but what's your name?" "Everyone calls me Mabel. What do you do? Are you treating people?" "Well, you could say that. I help to cope with the indisposition. In humans, it's like something is sick, the body is fighting, but it doesn't always cope. So I use herbs to help one person or another survive." Alex didn't know how to formulate the question, but Mabel understood him. "But I couldn't help myself, could I? I was beautiful when I was young. The guys followed me in herds. Steven, my boyfriend, was dating one of them, and then he picked on me. And his ex-wife threw a pungent herb into my eyes, which they used to poison weeds in the fields. Then what was the treatment? At first, I saw a little more, but quickly the remnants of vision disappeared." Alex looked at the door, which was still closed, in surprise. It was only about 8 seconds later that it opened, and it was as if the sun had looked into the house. "Hello, Grandma. How's our foundling?" Grandma chuckled. "He talks incessantly. Very curious." A young woman, more like a girl, approached him. She smiled, revealing 2 rows of perfectly white teeth. Alex didn't say a word as she changed the bandage and cleaned the wound. It was like he was lost. Grandma Mabel, laughing, said, "Jess, finish it, or your patient will forget to breathe." Then Jessica quickly set the table and looked at Alex. "Do you need a special invitation? Take your time, get up, and give it to me. Just don't move your hand." They were drinking tea and even talking. When Jess found out that Alex didn't remember anything, she shook her head. "You need to go to the clinic. I'm just a senior, and I'm going to be a veterinarian. But my grandmother and I think that whoever left you here may try to attack you again," she added. Alex nodded. "If Grandma Mabel doesn't mind, I'd like to live a little longer. I won't always be this sick, and then maybe I'll be useful in household chores. During this time, maybe I'll remember something." The old lady nodded. "Why should I be against it? At least I won't be alone, because there's no one to talk to." Alex had been staying with her for 3 months now. The wounds sometimes made themselves felt, but not in the same way as at the very beginning. He could have brought a woodpile with one hand and gone for water and repaired the old fence and also made a bench in the yard to sit in the evening. Grandma Mabel just sighed. "You're a good guy, Alex. You're not mean. And who did you annoy so much that people went on an assassination attempt?" He just shrugged his shoulders. "I'd like to know myself. But at the moment, what happened to him has somehow receded into the background. I had completely different thoughts in my head, and they were all about Jessica. She only came to the suburbs on weekends. Jess was the daughter of either her grandmother's niece or some other relative. But, as Alex understood, Mabel was her closest relative. Even though she was blind, she felt everything perfectly, understood everything. One morning, after Alex had escorted Jessica home until 4 in the morning, Grandma Mabel said sternly, "Why are you messing with a girl's head? Who are you now?" "Nobody. And once you remember everything, you obviously won't stay here." And then what did she do? Shed tears? Alex lowered his head. The last thing he wanted to do was make Jessica suffer, and the most he wanted to do was make her happy. But he also knew that he needed to remember everything. What if he's married, God forbid, and has children? Alex looked at the old woman. "Grandma Mabel, you can do anything. You help everyone. Is there really no such tincture that would help me?" My grandmother sighed. "There is one, but it is very dangerous. You can remember everything, or you can forget everything forever. How to eat, drink, how to walk." Alex thought about it and then said, "But that's the way to live. What if I remember everything in 5 years, when there's no turning back? What if I turn out to be a very bad person? Anyway, let's try." "Well, look, Alex." Alex got off the city bus, looked around. It is unlikely that any of his past acquaintances would have been able to recognize him. A thick beard, someone else's clothes. Previously, he only traveled around the city in an expensive car, wearing only designer clothes. He was going to get married. I wonder if he signed it at the mayor's office or not. Alex turned up the collar of his trench coat and headed towards the central area of the city. There lived a man whom he had always trusted infinitely, even more than himself. However, now he decided to keep a little eye on the house first, and only then announce himself. Alex raised his eyebrows in surprise when his best friend Brandon and his fiancée Chloe came out of the mansion he was watching. They didn't just look familiar, but rather lovers. Brandon hugged Chloe tightly and kissed her. They got into a black SUV and drove away. A puzzle has formed in Alex's head. He was introduced to Chloe by Brandon, and they immediately began a fast-paced relationship. Chloe was perfect in everything. Alex had never met such women, and 4 months later, they filed a complaint with the district court. He bought her a sports coupe, literally showered her with luxurious gifts, and on the day of the wedding, it seemed to hit him. I wonder if Chloe, who loves him so much, will be able to be with him if he doesn't have money? This thought stuck so firmly in his head that Alex began to recall different moments. Chloe happily accepts the car. Chloe is unhappy with the diamond earrings because they don't have a big enough stone in them. There should be no one at the painting ceremony. Just him, Chloe, Brandon, and some friend of Chloe's. Before the ceremony, they were left in an elegant room, and Alex made up his mind. Chloe, I'm so lucky to have you. I don't even know what I would do if I had someone else by my side. She looked at him carefully. You make it sound like something happened. The thing is, I lost all my finances last night, but that's not important compared to our love. But now we can start from scratch together. Chloe stared at him for a while and then hissed, Idiot! Who needs you without capital? And that's it, then everything is a blur. It seemed to him that Brandon's face was there in that fog, but then he doubted it. But now I was sure it couldn't have been done without him. Alex stroked his beard. Well, plan B then. Grandma Mabel was banging her fist on the wooden table. What are you thinking? What am I asking you, really? You have no mind. Well, I should have known that he could remember everything, and then he won't need you. And he's so much older than you. Jessica was sitting at the table, her face swollen and tear-stained. Grandma, what should I do? How am I alone with a baby? I haven't even graduated from college yet. What's the child's fault? Besides, you're an adult now. Go to the hospital and solve the issues. Jessica started crying again. I can't. She can't. Can I? I can't either. Period. How can I tell my parents? Grandma banged her fist on the table again. Are they monsters or something? Jessica dropped her head into her hands. Alex left 3 months ago. She waited. He told Mabel he'd be back, but it was possible to return 1,000 times during this time. Jessica was crying. Mabel was silent, frowning angrily. She believed Alex. I saw that he remembered everything, but I saw that he was not lying. He would come back. And now she was afraid to tell Jess about it. If he did not return, then most likely he was brought to the end. They didn't know what kind of life he had before. What if he's a criminal? A pickup truck stopped at the house. Grandma shuddered. Jess, look who's out there, who's been dragged in the middle of the night. Jessica rushed to the window. Grandma, it's Alex. The girl shot out into the street, and Grandma Mabel smiled and crossed herself. Thank heavens! I thought I'd stopped understanding people in my old age. Jessica and Alex burst into the house. Jess was hidden behind a huge bouquet of roses. Grandma Mabel sniffed. Roses? Alex handed the bouquet to her. Hello? An elderly woman clutched the flowers to herself and buried her face in them. I haven't had them for a long time. Well? Alex, tell me where you've been and what you've been doing. He sat down, hugged Jessica to him, and said that all the time he was here, his wife had been trying to steal his savings. Brandon specifically introduced her to Alex because he was heavily in debt. They had been friends for so long, and Alex did not know that his friend was a gambler. When Alex said that there was no more money, they didn't believe him. They decided that he didn't want to get married, which was partly true. The same Brandon injected him with something, and after an incompetent Alex signed the documents, they decided to eliminate him. They thought they had eliminated it. Oh, how people's wealth spoils. Alex shook his head. I disagree. They don't spoil their own. I have a lot of money now, but I've earned it. But those who do not have them, looking at others, begin to deteriorate. What took me so long? Before they were caught, before everything was proven, a divorce had to be obtained. Well, I couldn't come after Jess when I was married. I won't be long, by the way. The court proceedings are just beginning. Grandma Mabel nodded. That's right, that's it. And Jess will finish her studies, and nothing terrible will happen. Alex looked at her in surprise. Is it scary? What are you talking about now? Jessica said softly, I'm expecting a baby and I was so scared I almost did something stupid. Alex stared at her in shock for a while and then jumped up. He sat down again, jumped up again. Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, you could have come and explained. Idiot. Chloe, I'm sorry. Alex and Jessica were leaving a week later. Her parents greeted the groom with amazement. They had no idea of his existence. But after a couple of days, the father breathed a sigh of relief. A normal guy, he won't hurt his daughter. But how is Grandma now without Jess? She was like her right hand. The evening before their departure, Alex and Jessica arrived at Mabel's house. Alex immediately noticed that the old lady was sad and drooping. He sat down while Jess set the table for tea. Grandma Mabel, we want to talk to you. Well, talk to me. I have a spacious house in the city, lots of rooms, all the amenities. You're all alone here. Jess will need help there. Alex looked at Jessica, confused, so that she could help. She sat down next to her grandmother. Grandma, in general, we won't explain everything to you for a long time. We're just following you. Follow me, follow you. Come with us to the city. That's enough. I've made some money. You'll be sitting in the garden drinking tea. Mabel burst into tears. And you won't have to die alone. And I was so afraid. And the three of them hugged happily.